I'm the Frugal Gardener. Greetings. If you are in the United Kingdom, good afternoon. If you are in the United States, good morning. It's roughly 10 a.m. It's a Friday, which means it's time for another Buy It or Build It. Before I go into today's episode, I wanted to just clarify a few things for people who are new to this channel or people who are even have come here before but don't understand the origins of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. There are 4 reasons why I'm doing this series, and they're pretty simple. This is for people who don't have a lot of space to garden. It's for people who don't have a lot of time to garden. It's for people who don't have a lot of money or don't want to spend a lot of money to garden. And the 4th, new people, novice. If you're new to gardening and you don't want to jump in head first or the deep end or whatever analogy you want to use, this is a good place to start because we start small. Speaking of small, these are starters, and I started these a while ago. This is Malabar spinach, and I'm waiting for them to get big enough for me to transfer. So, moving on to today's project, I urge you guys to stick with me because these are pretty short, and there's a surprise at the end. Something new, something that I don't think you guys are expecting. So stick with me. Like I said, I'll get to it shortly. And what I'm showing you here is a trash can, or some people call them waste paper baskets. This is approximately 20 feet high and about 12 inches wide. And this is a first for this series, not a first for me, but this is the largest container that I have used since we started. I like to keep it small because people do get intimidated by large containers. These are just peppers that I'm growing. Here's the thing. If you're going to use something this size, you probably want to put it where it's going to stay because we're looking at, this is between 45 and 50 pounds. I mean, soil is heavy, and when it's wet, it's going to be even heavier. I have a doily, or some people call them hand trucks. Also have this wagon here. It's full of crap now. I use this a lot. And I can move this pretty much to wherever I want. But you probably don't want to go through that. So put it where it's going to live. Put it where it's going to stay. You want to have 6 to 8 hours of sun. So check. This is probably going to be here until harvest day. So basically, without further ado, this is what we're going to plant today. And this is something different. I usually do vegetables, but today, ta-da! Yeah, I should put this back here. Use a watermelon. Not just any watermelon. I mean, I could grow the large, bulky, heavy watermelons in this, but I like to be different. Not just frugal, different. If you look, you'll see that this watermelon I can harvest in 75 days. We're still in June. So you figure 75 days. The reason why I chose these, obviously, is because the size are smaller. These are smaller and rounder. They're also sweeter. But I chose these because when the smaller melons take longer to harvest. So I'm going to just push this down the soil. This one here, that's done. I mean, the instructions are right there in the pack. I mean, 1/2 inch deep, and you're done. So you keep this watered And again, don't forget, and I'll tell you, you always have to have drainage. There's drainage. You'll have it on this side. It's probably on the other side. So you water these generally every other day. Um, it depends. Stick your finger in. If you stick your finger in like so and it's dry, then it needs water. I will water this before we're done. Now, you need to put up some sort of a trellis, hence this post here, but I'm not done yet. Before I go to the surprise, one last thing I want to say to you guys about this is you don't have to have a big yard. You don't have to have a huge garden. This is what I've been hammering home, what I've been preaching for the longest time now. If you have a porch, if you have a deck, if you have a terrace, if you have a patio, even, front or back steps, balcony, any small area, this has a small footprint, doesn't take up very much space at all. None of the things in this series takes up a lot of space. So you can probably grow most of these in the space that you have. I mean, unless you live in an apartment building where you don't have any of these. But, okay, that's where we are. This is where I would normally end the video. But we're going to go a little further today. And because we have the largest container that we've had so far, these are a couple more starters that I have. Well, this is not a starter. These are actually tomato plants. These are starters that need to be watered. But we're going to take full use of this space by adding a second plant. Yes, this pot, from my view, from my experience, is big enough to plant watermelon and cantaloupe. So I'm going to put this rod in for the cantaloupe, this for the watermelon. More than likely, I will put one across here and form a trellis somewhere across here, going up here, because you need something to support these melons. Again, because they're not going to be huge. I've grown cantaloupe in less than half of the size of this container. So I know it will work. And again, I'm growing something that's going to be harvestable before the end of the summer. I'm growing something that I don't really have to do a whole lot to. And I'm going to throw a couple of cantaloupe seeds in that. And there you have it. It's done. So before I go, I want to bring you guys' attention to a video that I did about a week ago. If you want to play catch up, I've done these videos for about 2 months, so about 7 or 8 Fridays, and I did a recap video recently, and there's a link to that on your screen, and I'll also put it in a link underneath where the comments are. So if you wanted to go back and look at any of the ones you may have missed, you might be new to this channel, you may have been busy, and you can go back and see what you have missed. Uh, here's an example. These are daikon radishes that I'm waiting to come up. But that's it. Like I said, I'm not going to hold you guys long. I'm the Frugal Gardener. I garden in Zone 7A in the United States. And remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. So I hope you get out, start planting, start experimenting, start growing your own food. Catch you guys next Friday. Enjoy your weekend.